Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 89 of Husavik Heroes here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and coming up in today's episode it is a double header. We have games against Partizan and Barcelona, both of the teams who have taken points off so far in this Champions League group. So if you are looking forward to the episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But before we do get into today's episode, a little bit of housekeeping stuff. At the moment, one of my housemates has tested positive for COVID. So at the moment, I'm fine. So I'll try and keep the videos coming as much as I can this current week. But if there is a gap, that is going to be the reason why. I will keep you guys updated down in the comments below. But that is the reason these videos this week might just be a little bit more rushed. The light's looking a little bit more different because I'm filming at a different time of the day. The one benefit is that I don't have to go to work, so I have a bit more time to play FM as well as Gran Turismo 7. But nonetheless, that is the reason that the videos might look a little bit different this week, and why there probably won't be intros this week as well. Just try and get through these videos when I do get the chance, and hopefully I stay nice and healthy and there won't be any interruption to what does go on here on the channel. But just do keep that in mind if we do miss a day of Husavik Heroes this week. That will be the reason, if you are keeping up to date with this series when the videos do drop. But first off, today we are taking on Partizan. You can see already in match week 4 that Barcelona did pick up a 1-0 win over Juventus. So this group is still very compact and tight. A win here against Partizan would put us in a great position to at least finish third in this group. Of course, they are right in the hunt after beating Juventus on the opening day. We did play these guys at the end of last week. If you missed that episode, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. We bet them 2-0 away from home off the back of suffering a heavy defeat away at Juventus. So going back to our home ground, I am hopeful of a very similar performance, and that would give us a 4-point gap with both teams having to play Barcelona and Juventus in their last 2 games. Hopefully that would be a big enough gap for us to at least secure third in the group, and it also gives us a sneaky chance, if we can win this first game, of potentially finishing in those top 2 spaces and making our way through to the knockouts of the Champions League for the first time in this save. But you are familiar with Partizan if you did see that episode at the end of last week. They are overperforming expectations in this group. It is fair to say, but should be a team we are capable of beating at home. Of course, in our first game, we really should have beaten Barcelona at home. So I'd like to think we can beat Partizan like we did at the end of last week. No injury concerns going into this one. We'll come back shortly for the first game of today's episode as we take on Partizan from the Laugardas Villa. And here are the team sheets for this game. We have made one change. Traore's on a heavy injury proneness at the moment due to his match load, so Larson will start on the left wing. But apart from that, first choice 11 and bench as well. There is the Partizan lineup, looking fairly similar to what we took on at the end of last week. And hopefully we can go into those top 2 spots at the end of this game. And up to the 13-minute mark for our first highlight of this game, it is a throw-in inside the Partizan final third. We do get the ball back after they do clear it. So far in this game, 1-0 in Partizan's favour. So hopefully we can turn that around sooner rather than later. And we now look to build out from the back here as we do play out from our centre-backs. Alejandro Meza down the left-hand side. Hopefully we can get something going down here with that partnership of Meza and Larson. Probably not green linked up like the usual partnership of Meza and Traore would be, but they still play a fair bit of football together, and hopefully we can back up what we did at the end of last week, and as I said before, get ourselves inside the top 2 spots of this Champions League group. That would give us a great chance to get out of this group. Good chance here for Rubio. Oh, it's a big deflection, falls to him very kindly, and I think he was onside there. That should be a fair goal unless something funny has happened here handball wise, and indeed the goal does get awarded after 14 minutes. It is 1-0 Volsungur here in Iceland. Good ball there from Caviglia. A little bit of luck there for the ball to fall back at the feet of Rubio, but tucks it away. We're 1-0 up, just shy of the quarter of an hour mark. And about 10 minutes later, we have another highlight starting exactly the same fashion as we do have a throw-in inside the final third. Rubio can't quite get his head on the end of that, but off the clearance, we do get possession back yet again and start to camp inside the Partizan half here. Nice ball that for Fredrik Larsen. Tight angle, but he gets that inside the far post. He is onside. Was just checking there to see if he was, but the flag did not go up, and this is a perfect start. 2-0 up about halfway through the first half. Good sustained pressure off the back of that throw, and so far all the highlights have started inside the final third there of Partizan. Another assist there for Kviglia, a good finish from Fredrik Larsson, and it is 2-0 Volsungur after 25 minutes of our fourth game here of the Champions League group stage. There you can see the run just onside. It is a very well timed run, not just from him, but also from Benjamin Rubio. And right off the back of that goal, we might be able to score another here, as we do have a highlight from a free kick. Nicolosi gets out to Ian Carlo. Rubio's through, he misses the target. Great chance to make it free. Still in a pretty good position though, 2-0, just shy of the half-hour mark. And up to the 37-minute mark, we are down the other end this time. It is a throw-in for Partizan as they look to get themselves back in this game. Vlahovic there with a far post header just goes over the bar. Still 2-0 up here, just shy of halftime. And up to the 43-minute mark now, we have a free kick just shy of halftime. Unfortunately though, can't find anyone. That ball hit a little bit too much depth on it, and Gokmanak is able to tidy that up for Partizan. They pump that deep, but Alejandro Meza does win the header. Can we extend this lead right before the half? Benjamin Rubio with a good chance there, but just puts it wide. And we should be going into halftime here with a fairly comfortable 2-0 lead, and indeed we do in the end. Pretty good solid half from us there. Not too disappointed with how anyone is playing at the moment. We'll just tell them to continue doing the same as what they have been, as we are 2-0 up here and hopefully in a good spot to try and secure third spot in this group unless we blow things in the second half. And up to the 60-minute mark here, we are 2-0 up. We're going to make a few substitutions here, just players who are on yellow cards. I do feel like this game fairly well under control at the moment. So Goffey will come on for Galtason, and we will also bring on Zimmerman for Nygaard, both those players on yellow cards. Hopefully those changes don't impact us too much. Still 2-0 up, just past the hour mark. And we go forward to the 74-minute mark for this first highlight here of the second half. So a lot less action here than in the first half, but yet again it is a throw. We look to play inside the Partizan half. Nice ball that from Goffey for Fredrik Larsson. Can he pick up a double? His shot is low and comes off the base of the upright. Still 2-0 up here as we do enter the last 15 minutes, and we do have another highlight just as I was about to wrap things up, as Deplisco makes his way into the opposition half. But so far, apart from that one chance to Vlahovic at the end of the first half, it's been pretty comfy viewing, and it's another good save there on a shot from Larsson. So a few chances now for Fredrik Larsson to make it a double. He doesn't quite do the job, but still in a pretty good position here. 2-0 up. Nice ball that for Larsson from Deplisco, or should I say for Deplisco from Larsson. In the end though, it's a block shot. We can't do anything from the rest of that highlight, and with 10 minutes left, still 2-0, but we have yet another highlight. Partizan look to play out from the back. Their clearance though, Deplisco does get on the end of good chance here for Zimmerman, but his shot goes wide. Great chance, and we are going to make our last substitution at this stage as well. Poor Stein Arneson down to a red heart. I think he's another player who gets quite injury prone, so we will take him off. Chatzakis to come on for him. He can switch with Goffey into the DM role for these last 10 minutes. A few good chances to extend our lead, but it is still 2-0, and we have yet another highlight here at the 82-minute mark. We play out from the back yet again. Hopefully we can keep the pressure on here. Nice chance there for Rubio. Forces a decent save there out of Gokmanok. So we've certainly had a lot of chances to extend this lead here in the second half. We now have a corner which Paolo can't quite get on the end of. We'll just wait and see if anything else does come from this highlight, as we just force back a little bit. Indeed, nothing else happening. 5 minutes left, still 2-0 up. And that is full time in this one. In the end, that was a very comfortable win thanks to those two first half goals. As I said, throughout that second half, we actually had quite a few chances to extend the lead there, but just couldn't quite get the job done. But thankfully, Partizan didn't have many chances, and we pick up, as I said, very comfortable 2-0 win, and that will put us in second position going into the second game of today's episode, our second to last one in this Champions League group against the team who we did take points off in the first game of this group stage, albeit that was at home. Now we do have to travel to the new camp, and we should be coming back shortly for that game against Barcelona, a top of the group clash. And we are just jumping back into the pre-match menu here before we do get into the second game of today's episode, because a few interesting things have happened since that game against Partizan, one of which not too thrilled about. On screen here, we've got a few injuries. The main one to consider, Nicholas Zimmerman has the flu, so he's going to be missing for this upcoming game we do have here against Barcelona. But the bigger news, for some reason, Fredrik Larsson has gone on holiday, and I can't get him back until after our last game of the Champions League group stage. I think what's happened here is that the players did go away for an international break off the back of that last fixture against Partizan, and while on international duty, Frederick Larsson was told to go and take a holiday, and because he was told to take a holiday by the national team manager and not me, I can't recall him back to training. So that's a little bit of an issue. That does mean that we are now very, very light on left wingers for the last two games of the Champions League group stages. Holiday ends, as I said, the day after that game against Juventus coming up in tomorrow's episode. So that is a bitter blow. Maybe the Denmark manager was just noticing we would be overtaking them at the end of the season coefficient-wise. Maybe he's just trying to help his other teams out there domestically, but that is a bitter blow. It means now we are down to Chaka Traore, and our backup left wing option of the players registered for the Champions League is Nathaniel Satole, and he's not that comfortable out there. It is fair to say Bjarkason is not registered because I thought Pat Ainscough would be a better option. That still rings true somewhat, of course, with Zimmerman being injured. He is on there as our backup right wing cover, but we are now very light for left wingers for the rest of the Champions League because of that holiday by Frederick Larsson. Can't get him back, I think, because it was done by the Denmark manager instead of me being the club manager, and he is starting to really push Chaka Traore for that left wing spot. Those two guys, very interchangeable, a good position that we are usually in. And the other thing to consider, Chaka Traore is quite injury susceptible, so not the player who we would actually want to be going on holiday out of those two left wingers either. So that's a little bit of a blow for our last few games of this Champions League group. We are about to take on Barcelona, very good club. We should have bet them in the first game of the group stage, conceded a goal in the 94th minute, I believe, after being 1-0 up. Be a bit tougher here at the new camp, but hopefully we can get a little bit of revenge. A point here could be massive in seeing us get out of this group, not just for the Europa League, but potentially also into the knockouts of the Champions League for the first time. And we'll come back shortly with this top of the group clash. And here are the team sheets for this top of the group clash against Barcelona. They have a very, very strong team. They should be beating us, but seeing as we got that draw against them in the first game of this group stage, feeling somewhat confident despite this being away from home. That one change that we have made, in fact, two other wingers on the bench, Satole covering left wing and Ainscough covering right wing. Top of the group clash. Hopefully we can get a point here. That would be a pretty good result to just give us a little buffer over Partizan going into that last game of this group stage. And 5 minutes gone, we have our first highlight is a free kick in our favour inside the Barcelona half. Lovely ball that for Nygaard to Anderson. He slots it away, very similar to what Frederick Larsson did for the second goal there against Partizan. And we strike immediately here at the new camp. This time they don't need to gift us a goal. We worked for that one. Only 5 minutes in. It's a lovely ball that from Nygaard, and Anderson runs onto it nicely. And early on here, 1-0 Volsungur. This could be a massive result to try and get us out of this group. Now up to the 25-minute mark for our next highlight. It's a free kick here for Barcelona. Memphis Depay rockets that into the top right corner, and just like that, we are back at 1-1. I did change our mentality there just to see if it would stop the highlight and the free kick from being taken. Unfortunately, didn't work, and we are back at 1-1 here halfway through the first half. And just shy of half-time, we do have our next highlight. Another free kick here to Barcelona. In the other game, Juventus 3-0 up. So that's going a bit more like we expected it to. And there's a nice ball there for Jesus. Tight angle, thankfully, there is saved from Sierra Fellini. And hopefully that's going to be enough to keep the score at 1-1 going into the second half. This would be a very nice point indeed. But we have pushed someone in the back there. I think it was Caviglia or potentially Anderson. Not quite sure, but that did look quite clear cut, and we can't afford to be doing these sort of things against the big teams, and that will give Barcelona the chance to take a lead into the halftime sheds, and that would be a bit disappointing. After our good start, Leao, the goalkeeper, goes the right way for us, but too much power on that strike, and Barcelona will take a 2-1 lead into the sheds after we do give them a penalty in injury time of the first half, and after being 1-0 up early in this one, 2-1 as we do enter halftime in this game here at the new camp. Chaka Traore's having a bit of a shocker out there. So is Rubio, and to a lesser extent Ian Carlo. But those two players up front with the options that we do have at the moment, don't feel that confident in substituting them, but after that start, it hasn't been too good for us here. Hopefully we can turn that around and try get a point out of this game in the second half. And we do have a highlight straight from the restart here. Barcelona do start us off, hopefully. They don't kick on after we did give away that penalty, albeit that is exactly what happened when we played these guys at the Nou Camp last year. Chaka Traore actually wins a header there, but we can't quite get possession back. And now Gubby down the right-hand side here for Barcelona. Demirai far post for Leao. Luckily, his header just over the bar, and it's still 2-1 just after halftime to Barcelona. And up to the 53-minute mark for our next highlight. Yet again, it is a free kick here for Barcelona. Hopefully, we can find a way back into this game. Alejandro Meza nearly gets possession back for us there. It's a chance for Leao. Luckily, though, Serafini with a good save there at the near post to keep it 2-1 in their favour. But Barcelona, since that hot start from us, really getting on top of us in this game, we do deal with that corner safely. Just over a half hour left, and it is still 2-1 to Barca. And up to the hour mark, we are going to make a triple substitution at this point because those players who I thought were struggling at halftime are not doing any better here out of the sheds in the second half. Some changes ideally we wouldn't make, but Carlo will come off for Petrovic. Sotole will get a crack on the left-hand side for Chaka Traore. Just make sure that Pat Ainscough can't play left wing. Indeed, he cannot, and neither, I think, can Patrick Nygaard. So we are going to have to bring on Sotole there for Chaka Traore. And the other change, Benjamin Rubio only on a 6.1, so Martins to come on for him. All our subs used a half hour left to try and find an equaliser here at the Nou Camp. And about 6 minutes off the back of that triple substitution, it is a highlight here for Barcelona. Thought we might get the ball back from that throw-in briefly, but they do keep possession and will be looking for a crucial goal to give them a bit of a cushion and try and put us in the mud, as Partizan have got a goal back against Juventus just after the hour mark. So that is now 3-1. Might just have to keep a little bit of an eye out on that one. Hopefully, Juventus do beat them because that would secure ourselves third in this group at least. Otherwise, that makes things very interesting going into the last match week. And there's a ball over there for Smith down the left-hand side. Meza will play that back for some reason straight into the path of what I think was supposed to be Sarah Fellaini, but in the end, Jamie Smith, he had so many options when he's next at the club cafeteria. If he's having a sandwich, he needs to put it on either side of his face because he is an idiot sandwich for that pass. Look at all of the options he had there. That is absolutely shocking from Meza, and that could be the death knell in this game. 3-1 Barcelona with just over 20 minutes left. And inside the last 4 minutes of this game, no highlights since that goal to Barcelona that Meza gifted them. But of more note, Partizan have equalised against Juventus. That could make things very interesting going into the last match week, although I think Juventus might have just snuck a winner there very late. We'll just have to wait and see when we do go forward to the group table. But that was a very poor performance after a good start from Arneson, but that was one of only 2 shots that we did have in this game. After that, Barcelona got well and truly on top of us, especially after we did give away that penalty in injury time of the first half. So no complaints there, Barcelona. Today, the better team. Those drop points in the home league could be quite crucial in this group, it is starting to feel like. But in the end, no complaints. Barcelona, way too good for us. And thankfully, Juventus did pick up a 4-3 win, so we cannot be caught by Partizan. We will have some European knockout football at the start of next year in game, but we do still have a chance of getting to second in this group, of course, because our last game is against Juventus in tomorrow's episode. It will be a tough ask, but it is at home. If we can win that one, we can still get into the Champions League knockouts, but knockout football is confirmed despite a disappointing 3-1 defeat there at the Nou Camp. And back looking at the group table off the back of that loss to Barcelona and that win against Partizan in the first game of today's episode, that one crucial because, as I said before, we now cannot finish any lower than third and still have a chance to finish second if we can win the game in tomorrow's episode over Juventus at home. Doesn't really matter what happens between Partizan and Barcelona, as Barcelona will have the slight edge in the head-to-head record anyway, as well as probably the goal differential, but Barcelona are guaranteed to be in the knockouts of the Champions League. We still have a chance if we can defeat Juventus, albeit that is a little bit unlikely looking, considering that we did lose to those guys 4-0 in the last episode at the end of last week. But that will do it for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up, on the video. And if you haven't done so already and are enjoying this series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. In the next episode, I shouldn't say tomorrow because I do have to take a COVID test tomorrow just to check because it's day 3. Hopefully though, I'll be fine, feeling good at the moment. But in the next episode, we will start off with our end of season review, seeing as that was the last game in this 2028 season here in Iceland. So we'll start off with that, and then we will get into that last game of the Champions League group stage against Juventus at home, where a win would see us into the Champions League knockouts for the first time in this save. But until the next time I see you, thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.